Solar PV TV from 100 gigawatt event here in Brussels, organized by SolarPower Europe. So first, James, congratulations, really
Thank
great
you, Thomas.
event, and
Yeah.
also great announcement from the European Commission, and great speech also of Claude Turmes,
Yes.
and great speech of you.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much. So this is James Watson, who is CEO of SolarPower Europe, former EPIA. Also, I spoke with Winfried Hoffmann, who came
yes,
here.
Winfried, good.
One of the guys
Good
who
man.
is also in charge of this
The
100
father,
gigawatts.
The father, yes. Winfried's a great man. We still keep in touch with him regularly. He comes to a lot of our work still. We're very happy to keep the relationship going with Winfried. And I think he has a lot of great knowledge to impart to the rest of us. So, you can't have a future if you forget your past. And so we're really delighted that we had not just Winfried, but about 6, I think, former board members. And so we were able to bring them all together and in a way kind of have a reunion of EPIA as it was and SolarPower Europe as it is today.
But it's very interesting, the fact that today it's organized in BMW premises. So it's not like, anymore like in the hotel or maybe in some solar power company, but it's the car company. So what was the reason actually?
Well, I think that what we need to show is we're 100 gigawatts installed in Europe today, and this is a technology that isn't just about power generation. It is a very flexible technology that will play a huge role in transport, in heating and cooling perhaps in the future. But really, what we think about is what we need to do is tell a different message and a different story. We need to get people like BMW, people like Heineken to come forward and explain how they see solar being one of the most important parts of their future. And so when we were talking about who we should have to sponsor this event, BMW seemed natural. They're moving into storage. They've got their iFleet. They're really, really moving forward. I think 1 in 8 electric vehicles in Europe is from BMW. So they have this great commitment. And I think really, when you are looking for people you can work with, you have to have people who have the same vision as you. And BMW is certainly a company that have that.
But James, I just came from India, where we spoke with Secretary of State in the Ministry of New Energies, and he just told me, Thomas, you will see during the next 4 or 5 years we'll have 100 gigawatt installs of solar. Are you jealous, about that?
Well, of course, we're always jealous of everybody else's successes. No, not at all. It's fantastic. It's great news. We want solar to go global. This isn't just about Europe. I mean, in the past, people were saying 2010, it was 85% of European technology. If we're really going to deal with things like access to energy for everybody, if we're really going to defeat climate change, we need 100 gigawatts everywhere, not just in India, not just in Europe, but in the United States, in Latin America, in Africa. Everybody has an opportunity. And I'll just say one other thing. Vice President Šefčovič is right. In Africa, there's a great chance to use solar to jump the fossil period in an energy system. And I think that is the real opportunity. They're not enclosed by history in some of those countries. They really can use a cheap and abundant source of energy that is solar. So let's have 100 gigawatts everywhere. And then the next 100.
Okay, James, so this is great party. So this is an important event, an important activity, not only in terms of the, let's say, networking, but also accenting, on the European level that solar is, something very important. But which other activities are in your, let's say, top key agenda for next years to come?
Okay, well, beyond throwing very good parties, because that is important, we have to get the positive message out there. What we will be doing, of course, is looking at how we can create the right market framework in Europe for renewables to grow, including solar. So we need a good electricity market design, we need a good renewable energy directive, but also we'll be looking at things like quality, standards, trying to work out how we can make sure that the consumer also gets the best product. So from our point of view, what we need is more good quality solar at the best prices. And I'll just add one other thing. We don't really approve or agree with the idea that you can have trade defense measures on things like Chinese panels. Why should we starve the European market of a product that they've helped create by making it more expensive than it needs to be? Let's all win. Let's get rid of these barriers. Let's move forward with good, cost-effective solar.
But do you think that finally we'll have the liberal market for solar panels in Europe?
I hope so, Thomas. I really do. Because I think that this is one of the ways that we'll be able to get to places like grid parity. I mean, if we were to be able to take off some of the costs that are associated with the import of Chinese panels, we'd probably get to grid parity in most of Southern Europe tomorrow. That's a huge, well, it's a massive thing, because you're actually taking burden away from governments. You're able to do something on its face value. Solar can be there, and I know that Claude Turmes says we're not that cheap. The reality is, Claude, we are, and we are going to get cheaper still.
Okay, James, before letting you to join your
yes.
members behind.
I'm looking forward to it.
Just I would like to give you just opportunity like I gave recently to Rodrigo in Brazil, to Pranav in India, to and also to Tom in United States, to in bullet points, why the companies, the global companies, international companies who will be watching this should join SolarPower Europe.
I think that's really easy. We are giving the best value proposition that you will get for any solar company in Europe today. If you're active in Europe, there's nowhere else to be. We'll represent you. We'll also give you the information you need. There is just simply no competition. We are throwing the best parties too.
Yes, and that was James Watson, who was, let's say, signing below these bullet points, CEO of SolarPower Europe.
And
From the
so
great
thumbs up for solar. Yes.
Thumbs up for solar.
Thumbs up for solar.